8.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Moving on to the next subject, we're going to talk about Giannis is in, but are the Bucks all in, Matthew? Giannis is once again an all-star starter and one of the top vote getters. But does Milwaukee's current roster really match his championship timeline? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I would say no because I look at their current roster and Sean, I don't see a lot of players I recognize. You got AJ
And
Green
they're
there.
talking about getting rid of Bobby Portis too, right?
Well, at some point, Bobby Portis has been great for them, but at some point, you're getting a diminishing return with him. But, he's still shooting 49, 48 from three,
Yeah.
giving you 13 points a game. So I don't know. Maybe if you can get a good return from him, then sure. But it looks like his production is still pretty high for a six-man. But you're starting a bunch of no names in the starting lineup. You got AJ Green, who's having a good year, but I don't know what kind of value he adds to the team. Ryan Rollins, a young
Hmm.
guy. So you're starting all these super young guys. You got Kevin Porter Jr. and then you got Giannis. It's just Giannis carrying this team of no names. And at some point, if you're Giannis, you want Milwaukee to bring you a superstar. But if you're Milwaukee, we already tried. We brought you Damian
Right.
Lillard, and that didn't work out.
Yeah, and I thought that was too, and I was shocked that it didn't.
A lot of people thought it was going to work out. Then if you're Milwaukee, you say, well, we had a mid three a few years ago with the Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton. Everybody got old. So I
Yeah.
think Milwaukee's trying. I don't think it's a lack of effort on their part. They
Right.
built this beautiful team that won the championship, led by Giannis, Chris Middleton, and Drew Holiday.
Uh
And
huh.
then when that team started to age out, they made big moves. They tried to get Lillard, but they've already done everything. They've grown a team organically. They've made the splashy trade. And now you're just kind of stuck where you're at with Miles Turner and Kevin Porter Jr. and Ryan Rollins and AJ Green and everybody's favorite Kyle Kuzma. You're just kind of stuck with this mismatched group of pieces because you've swung big with Damian Lillard and you struck out. And then you send him back to Portland. So I don't see them having the assets to build a team around Giannis with superstars. So if he wants to stay, then he's going to have to get it out the mud for a little bit. He's going to have to work with
Right.
these mismatched pieces. I think at some point you hear about Kyle Kuzma getting traded. I don't know how many assets you're getting back for Kyle Kuzma. I
Not
don't
too
know how
many.
many assets you're getting back for
That's a
Bobby
one for one
Portis.
trade. One for one trade.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're not getting Damian Lillard back for Kyle Kuzma.
Right.
You're not
And you
getting
know what? And I was going to say, you know what? And it took Kevin Garnett years to finally say, listen, man, we know you love the Timberwolves. We know you love Minnesota. But, bro, if you ever want to win a championship, you have to get out of there. And when he went to Boston, they built a powerhouse behind him. That was it. So do you think Giannis is in the same boat? Like, bro, like the city loves you. You love the city. But if you really want that championship, you're going to have to.
No, I don't see anybody in the East that's necessarily, oh, well, Giannis can't beat the Celtics or Giannis can't beat the Sixers. Kevin Garnett had to get out the West because he couldn't beat Tim Duncan. I mean, they can spin it however they want to spin
Right.
it now, but Kevin Garnett had to get out of the West
Yeah.
because who was in the West? Shaq was in the West. Shaq
Yeah.
would give him a spanking every year. Duncan was in the West. Duncan would give him a spanking every year. So he said,
Right.
you know what? I think it looks nice in the East where I don't have to play Duncan every year because Shaq was already out of the West by the time
Right.
KG left. But KG was tired of that Spurs spanking he had to get every year. And with Giannis, I don't think there's any other team that scares Giannis. I mean, I don't think
Right.
it's the Celtics, especially the Celtics without Tatum. I don't think it's the Sixers with Embiid and Podcast P who can't stay on the floor. The Hawks have already fallen apart. They've had their rise and fall.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's a team where you say, if you're Giannis, oh, this team scares me. I can't beat this team. And in
Right.
fact, if you get that trade
Uh huh.
and you go west, then there are some teams like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then you got to deal with FTA and OKC. Then you got to
Right.
deal with the LA teams. Then you got to deal with Wemby, the alien, and the Spurs. I mean, there's a lot of stiff competition in the West. The grass isn't always greener on the other side. So if you're
Right.
Giannis, I think you just got to get it out the mud with the roster you have. They've tried to build superstars around you. They've tried to build good teams around you, and now you're stuck with what you have. And a lot of that's because, you wanted to play with your buddy Damian Lillard, and so they had
Right.
to give up a lot to get him, and it didn't work out. So I hope he stays, though, because we've talked about this before. He's been there 13 years. He hasn't been there 5, 6, 7 years. He's been there 13 years in
Right.
the small market, brought them a
Mhm.
championship. They signed his
That's right.
brother.
2021 was the championship they won against the Phoenix Suns. I think it was like 4-2, right? But
6 games.
I mean, but it after that, it just has to be the same. He has to get out of there in order to win again. I just don't think they're going to be able to build around him.
I want him to stay. I mean, maybe they can, maybe they can't. But 13 years with one organization, the small market, Milwaukee Bucks, they signed
Right.
your brother. They signed your
Yeah.
brother to the team, and
Right.
they put your other brother on the G League team. His other brother, Alex, went to high school in Milwaukee, or in one of the suburbs of Milwaukee, Whitefish
Right.
Bay, Whitewater Bay. And
Uh-huh.
so he's
They grew up.
ingrained in that community.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just think it would suck to see him have to leave. And especially if he left to go to like LA or New York or one of these big markets. You've been the leader. You've been carrying the torch for the small market Milwaukee Bucks. Help them. Let's get it back. Milwaukee championship 2027. You heard it here
All right.
first.
Got you. All right. Well, there you have it on that.